we want people to innovate.
Right.
And one of the reasons that equality of outcome is absolutely not desirable, even if you could arrange it, is that the inequality of outcome is the incentive that drives people to achieve amazing stuff that we want them to achieve.
Right.
Right?
Of course.
So how far ahead of everybody else should you end up? Well, this is a difficult problem because to the extent that somebody earns a fortune because they have innovated in an important way, but then they have gone on to be a rent seeker, we don't want them rewarded for their rent seeking, but we do want them rewarded for their innovation. So the problem is the elite is two different things, and even worse, individuals who are members of the elite are composites of both things, where you get into the elite because you innovated something amazing, but the degree to which you have been rewarded is, 60, 70% the result of rent seeking rather than what you innovated.
And again, for people just tuning into us now, rent seeking meaning doing things to which you extract money from the system without any real benefit to the people that are around you.
Yeah, it's any time that you get paid without producing something of value, either innovation or productivity itself or something like that.
But how would you regulate that? How would you figure out a way to regulate the amount of profit that someone could, like, if you have a system, right, and if you build something and then you get, some sort of a residual benefit from that system because you built it, and so you're not really doing anything, but you're just constantly collecting money from this thing, how would you stop that or regulate that?
Well,
is that a good example of it? The way I just described it?
Yeah, it's a pretty good example. We do want, so it's a very tough conversation because one has to be very careful that you don't remove an incentive to do something valuable, even though the value of it may be very subtle. So the example of, investment, like playing the stock market, might look unproductive, but to the extent that you are correcting the fact that certain things are undervalued and other things are overvalued, you are actually doing a kind of service that is not as obvious on the outside unless you've spent time thinking about the logic of why you want the market to be efficient. So I don't want to declare that certain things are in and of themselves bad because we can't see the obvious value of them. On the other hand, there's an awful lot of stuff that is either totally valueless, for which people are very handsomely paid, or worse, counterproductive, destructive of value, right? If you take waste and you get paid to dispose of it, and you dispose of it in a way that it creates cancers where you can't detect that they've been created by what you've done, but it's not that you solved the problem of that waste. You just caused cancers in random homes that won't be able to trace their misfortune to your action. That's not only is that unproductive, but it's counterproductive. It's harmful. So how do you address these questions? Well, this is a much harder problem if you imagine that what you want to do is fix the landscape that you're walking into and say, you're a rent seeker and you're productive and you're 30% productive, but 70% a rent seeker. Nobody believes you can do that. What you can do is restructure things so that going forward, what is rewarded is actual productivity that is not harmful, or actual innovation that is not harmful. And what is penalized, and what you really want, if the system is to function, what you want is a disincentive to do anything that hurts other people, that has a net negative impact on the system.
Like the BP oil spill.
BP oil spill, the Aliso Canyon leak, the
3 Mile Island,
Fukushima to the 10th degree.